What is the human equivalent of pressing an on and off button? Naturally, it is going to sleep, meditating, exercising, and doing any other thing that clears the mind, that replenishes your energy, and that ultimately resets your system so that you're ready for another day in this crazy world. Oftentimes, we use the analogy of a computer to describe what your brain and your mind is like. So the computer being the mind, and the beliefs that you hold being the software programs that have been downloaded or installed onto the computer. I think this is a fabulous analogy. And yet, the part that we don't talk about that much is the rebooting part, the unplugging of the system. That is so important, because what would you be without going to sleep each night? It's kind of a given. It's kind of the most natural thing that you do and that you could literally not live without. And yet, sometimes that's not enough. That's what this video is all about. Let's dive in. Hi, my name is Stephanie, and during the last couple of years, I've become a master rebooter. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that I spent a lot of time rebooting my system, clearing out the system, deleting old programs and apps, whatever you want to call it, that didn't serve me anymore, that I didn't need anymore, that didn't have any function, perhaps other than a really bad function. And that's why I got to where I am today, because I did all of that rebooting and still do to this day every part of my day. And that's what I teach and what I want to talk to you about today. There are 4 components or pillars of this rebooting process: energy, thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. Let's go through them. The energy is the electricity that runs through your house. You cannot live without it. You need it to plug your devices and yourself into it so that you get the energy that you need. It powers you up. And this electricity that runs through your house is literally source energy. It's that non-physical thing that everything is made of, that is all around you, whether you acknowledge or know it or not, and it makes this world go around. Now you have the option of plugging into that energy, that electricity, or not. Either way, it is vital and it is a part of you. Then there are the thoughts, the 60,000 thoughts or so that you think every single day. And these thoughts are kind of like the cord that you plug into the socket. That's how you get to that energy source. That's your connection to source, literally. And unless you plug in your phone into the socket, it's not gonna charge. Same thing with your computer or your toaster or whichever other machine or device you are talking about. You could also see yourself as a machine, and that will just make it all the more important to recognize and notice what kind of thoughts you are thinking, because those thoughts are way more important than you will ever know. Our emotions are what tell us if we have plugged in the cord correctly, put it into the socket, if we are connected to that energy, that electricity that is streaming and running all around us anyway. Your emotions literally tell you how you are feeling, what your connection to source is, how well you are doing, how satisfied you are in your life, if you are moving in the direction of what you want or not. Without your emotions, you would have no idea where you are and in which direction you're headed. They are literally guiding lights when you learn how to use them properly. And then there are your beliefs, the belief systems that you hold. You could also call them BS, because that's essentially what they are, a whole load of crap in some instances, if you haven't revised what they are. You could also spend more time thinking about what your beliefs are by looking at your life and seeing what is unfolding and therefore making the connection between the two. And then you could uninstall some of that BS because you don't need it anymore. And once you become aware of this and start doing this process consciously, your life has to change. Because a belief is only a thought that you keep thinking over and over again. And if you change your belief and the thoughts that you are thinking, then you will have to get a different outcome than what you did before. It is law. So why is this rebooting process so important? Well, you know exactly what it's like to have an overloaded computer or a phone where you don't have any space anymore, when you're getting error messages all the time. You have 37 frozen tabs, you don't know where the music is coming from, it's all kind of messy, and you don't know what to do. You also feel like you don't know what to delete, because what if you delete something that you need, but then again you know that something has to go so that you create more space for the wanted by removing the unwanted. And that's essentially what my program is about. I recently started a new coaching program where I help individuals such as yourself to achieve what you want. Because from my own experience, I know that I can get really far through meditation, and especially through Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations. Nobody does it better than he does. However, I also learned that it wasn't enough, because if you have 16 hours a day awake and you meditate for 1, even 2, you still have some 14, 15 hours awake where you are in charge of what happens in your life. And unless you learn what to do during those hours so that you're not working against your own energy, so that you're not doing all sorts of things without plugging into that energy and getting the information that you need to thrive and to go and to move in the direction that you want to be moving in, then your life is going to be really hard. You're going to struggle and you're never going to get there, wherever that place is. So inside my membership, we do exactly this. I paint a picture of what these components are, how they are related to one another, what you need to know so that you don't get stuck, so that you don't feel like a victim, so you don't feel like you don't know what to do. You need to know exactly what to do so that you can keep doing it all day, every day without forgetting, because we forget all the time. I do too. And that's what I keep telling my members. I am not perfect. I still have a lot to learn. I told you, my life is an experiment. But I've been doing this experiment for so long that I know when I am working against myself or for myself. And that is the big distinction that most people get wrong. They are not focusing right. And if you're not focusing right, you don't feel so good. It's just the name of the game. If you're interested in joining my program, you'll find my email below. Please write me an email and I'll get you all the details. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Always makes me happy. If you want to say something nice, that's cool too. If you want to say something funny, even better. I'll see you in the next video. Sending you lots of love.